Good morning. It is first thing Monday morning. So we're going to start this week off beautiful, beautiful week. And we're going to speak it into existence. So I'm wishing you all the best beauty, prosperity, abundance, you name it, whatever you ask for is coming to you this week. This week is your week to shine. But I want to talk about abuse. I was going to head more towards domestic violence because um, this weekend it was something that was on my mind heavily. But I want to stick to abuse in general because a lot of people are in abusive situations and they don't really recognize that they're in abusive situations because they think abuse is just something physical. But a lot of times, before abuse even becomes physical, it becomes mental and emotional. You're broken down in more ways mentally and emotionally before anything ever becomes physical. And those abuses can sometimes be more damaging than the actual physical abuse. Those that abuse on your mental and your emotional lasts longer than any physical abuse can. Um, and a lot of people don't realize that. And this weekend, I was dealing with a situation where it was a little bit of both. And it reminded me of situations I had dealt with myself. And I have myself being in domestic violence relationships. Um, and I remember the last time being the last time, but it took for it to go so far before I walked away, before I removed myself from the situation, before I had the strength to walk away. And it took being hit so hard that I would just remember getting up. I never remember falling. I just remember getting up. And because I blacked out. And it happened in front of my kids. So it was something that not only I experienced, but they had to experience. So as a parent, it was different. It was something I then had to remove myself from. I had to remove them from. But it takes a lot to do that, and a lot of people don't feel like they have the strength to do that. A lot of people fear removing themselves from situations like that, and a lot of people don't have resources or people to help remove them from situations like that. And I know for me, it was just me and God. Um, so I've relied heavily on Him to remove me from situations like that. But dealing with the situation this weekend, it was, like I said, similar, but not one that anyone is ready to walk away from. And I say ready to walk away from because, in a way, your emotion and mental, you have to begin to make head over heart decisions. And if you're still making heart over head decisions, you stay. You're thinking with your heart, you're thinking with your emotions, and you're not thinking with your head. You're not keeping yourself safe. You're not keeping your family safe. You're emotionally stuck there because that's where you feel you should be. That's where you feel you're stuck at because you feel like you can't do better because that's what you heard. That's what where you are emotionally. That's all you feel you're worth because, like I said, abuse started emotionally and mentally before it starts physically. It's almost like an addiction, where addiction is something you have to be ready to release yourself from. People can want you to get clean all the time, but if you don't want that for yourself, then you continue to go back to the same drug. That domestic relationship is the same way. If you don't want to leave that relationship or if something there continues to draw you back, people can help you all the time. But if you're not ready to leave that situation, no matter what help people offer you, you're always going to be drawn back. And then it creates a terrible relationship between the people who try to help you and yourself, because they're stuck in the middle of something you keep going back to. And then they stop helping. And then that creates a place where you're alone and you're dealing with it alone. And that is the hardest place to be. So I really want to tell you guys, if this resonates, if any part of this is anywhere you live, if any part of this is your reality, start looking at ways to get help. Reach out to me. I help. My organization helps. I would go to hell and high water to help you come out of your situation. But you have to really want that help for yourself. People can't want it more than you. Help is something you have to want for yourself. And turn into the Bible. Turn to spirituality. Turn into what helps you build and find yourself. Because it all has to start with you loving yourself, with you seeing yourself outside of that situation. And with you seeing better for yourself, your kids, and your future. And I'm going to leave you with God saying, be anxious in nothing. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known. Pray. Put it in prayer. Pray your way through. Reach out. Don't be ashamed. There's no judgment. Like I said, I tell my story. I know people talk about it. I don't care. It's my story. My tests were meant to be my testimony. It's not anything I fear. It's not anything I'm ashamed of. It's my story. So, reach out. I'm here. My DMs are always open. My phone number will be attached. If you need help, if you just want to talk about your situation, if you want to find out what resources are out there, reach out.